The human brain is an incredible organ. It's always working, even when we're asleep. Every second it processes a huge amount of information from the world around us. You can think of it as a powerful computer that controls everything we do. This includes our thoughts, feelings, movements, and even our dreams. This amazing ability to process information is what makes us human. It allows us to experience the world through our senses, learn new things, and interact with others. Imagine trying to understand a language, enjoy a delicious meal, or ride a bike without your brain processing information. It would be impossible. In this essay, we'll take a closer look at how the brain processes information. We'll explore how our senses work, how signals travel to the brain, and how different parts of the brain work together to make sense of it all. Understanding this process can help us appreciate the complexity and wonder of our own minds. Our senses are our windows to the world. They allow us to experience everything around us, from the bright colors of a sunset to the sweet melody of a song. We have 5 main senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Each sense relies on special receptors that detect different types of stimuli. For example, our eyes contain photoreceptor cells that are sensitive to light. When light enters our eyes, these cells send signals to the brain, which then interprets them as images. Similarly, our ears have hair cells that vibrate in response to sound waves. These vibrations are converted into electrical signals that travel to the brain, allowing us to hear. Our sense of touch relies on receptors in our skin that detect pressure, temperature, and pain. These receptors send signals to the brain, letting us know if something is hot, cold, soft, or sharp. Our senses of taste and smell work together to help us enjoy food and avoid harmful substances. Taste buds on our tongue detect different flavors, while olfactory receptors in our nose detect odors. When our senses detect a stimulus, they send signals to the brain for processing. These signals travel through a network of nerves, which are like tiny wires that carry electrical impulses. The nervous system is responsible for transmitting information throughout our bodies. Imagine you touch a hot stove. Sensory receptors in your skin immediately detect the heat and send signals along nerves to your spinal cord. From there, the signals are relayed to your brain, where they are processed in different areas. The brain receives and interprets these signals, allowing us to perceive the world around us. This process happens incredibly fast, which is why we can react to stimuli almost instantly. For example, when you touch a hot stove, your brain receives the signal and sends a command back to your muscles to quickly withdraw your hand. The brain is divided into different regions, each with specialized functions. The cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, is responsible for higher-level functions such as thinking, learning, and memory. It is further divided into 4 lobes: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. The frontal lobe is involved in planning, decision-making, and personality. The parietal lobe processes sensory information such as touch and temperature. The temporal lobe is responsible for hearing, language, and memory. The occipital lobe processes visual information from our eyes. When sensory signals reach the brain, they are processed in the corresponding sensory areas. For example, visual signals are processed in the occipital lobe, while auditory signals are processed in the temporal lobe. These areas work together to create a coherent perception of our surroundings.